Good evening. Coming to you from LULS, we are going to talk about a special tonight. Our special is on alfalfa.
Yes, Caitlin. Alfalfa production is the most important forage crop in the world.
Yes, it is incredibly important. Alfalfa is measured in acres harvested, and so far in the US for the year of 2016, there was over 53 million acres. That's a lot of hay.
That is a lot of hay.
The average gross income for alfalfa production in the year 2016 was over $15 billion. In addition to this, the average price per ton in the US was at 138. Unfortunately, this is a decline from the previous 2 years. However, it is predicted that within this next year of 2017, the price is supposed to raise. That's a plus.
That is a plus.
Alfalfa production affects seed producers, truckers, livestock industries, dairies, hay brokers, fertilizer companies, small animals, and biotechnology research. Alfalfa finds a way to affect everything in our lives currently.
That's right, Caitlin. Alfalfa is a top crop in economic value for the western United States. There is 11 western states, including Utah. Those states make up 40.5% of the total alfalfa production in the United States. Montana currently has the most acreage, but California comes in as the top producing. The average yield of western states is 4.7 tons per acre. That is 136% of the national average, which is 3.4 tons per acre.
And now with us, we have our news analyst, Dr. Carter, here to explain the benefits of alfalfa.
Here are a few facts about alfalfa. Alfalfa has deep roots that can recover most of the water in the soil, and that creates less waste. And also, because of its deep roots, alfalfa can hold the soil in place and also create more space for plant growth. And finally, alfalfa is a nitrogen fixating plant, which means less fertilizer is needed for a following crop.
Wow, that makes alfalfa pretty important.
Thank you for your in-depth analysis, Dr. Carter.
Yes. Next up, after this brief commercial break, we will have our public opinion segment.
GMOs, flour, and sugar, all in one tasty pastry.
And finally, on LULS, we have an expert on public opinion concerning alfalfa, AJ Edwards. AJ, tell us what you know.
All right, well, thanks for having me today. So the first thing is about GMOs, or genetically modified organisms, and that's a huge role in today's hay economy. If you're going to have hay, are you going to grow genetically modified or not? And there's a lot of people that are against it because it causes all sorts of problems, and a lot of people are for it. I'm for it, and I think it's a great idea. Some of the reasons of why alfalfa growing GMO-specific hay is a good idea is it allows you to have a stronger, better, more profitable stand. This is strictly due to the fact that when you spray for all your weeds, you can use Roundup or glyphosate, which will kill all your broadleaf plants at once, and then you're set for the next couple of cuttings. Another one is you're not going to be driving in the field as often. You don't have to spray as often for all these grasses and other broadleaf plants that come up. And lastly, referring back to the idea of spraying for all your weeds at once, this gives you the benefit of having dense bales that is strictly all alfalfa, because you kill all those weeds at the beginning of the season, and you don't have any grasses or weeds that's in your hay to lower the quality or your TDN, your protein, etc. in your hay. That is my personal expert opinion on why GMO in the production of hay is a good idea. And so we're lucky enough this evening to have Dr. Thaddeus Ulysses Clyde, an expert in alfalfa production, who is on the other side of the argument this evening.
GMOs, what are they? You don't know. They're some kind of wacky chimera of peanuts and alfalfa. I'm allergic to peanuts on Thursdays. And now I'm hearing they're going to make some kind of crazy 2,4-D resistant alfalfa. 2,4-D was a component in Agent Orange. I flew Sky Raiders over Saigon back in '67. I saw some things. I crash landed up country, got Agent Orange spread all over me, and we want to feed this to our children. What about the bees? What about the bees, man? They're gonna get all killed by all the pesticides we're throwing on them, and we're just encouraging it with all these GMOs. And just, I wish I could swear on air.
We will be right back after these pre-approved messages.
Support a local farmer and buy a Twinkie today.
This is Larry Anderson from Nephi, Utah, and I'm interviewing him about his hay production. How many acres do you have?
We have 5 acres of hay, is all.
And how much hay an acre do you get?
We raise about 4.5 or 5 ton to the acre on average.
How many cuts do you get a year?
We get 3 up here.
What kind of fertilizers do you use?
Just some phosphate in the spring.
How much annual water do you use?
Well, we water 24 hours a day on each set for each crop, so we average about 1.9 million gallons a year of water.
Okay. And what do you do with the hay that you raise?
I feed it to my kids' horses mostly, and my horses. We buy all our cow hay elsewhere.
What is your name?
I'm Brett.
Brett. I'm AJ.
Nice to meet you.
Do you know what GMOs are?
The solvent foods that are
Yeah,
really,
so this stands for genetically modified organism,
Yeah.
whether it's a plant or an animal or whatever. But if I was producing food that was genetically modified, is that a good thing or a bad thing in your opinion?
it's depends on what type of food. Usually for like the Chick-fil-A, you know, the fried foods, that's
Yeah.
usually bad, but there's some stuff that it's good just because it's more, it's kind of hard to explain because I have a different mind view, but yeah, it's sometimes good.
Okay, so if I was to say I was going to grow some hay or grass to feed to a horse or a cow, and that was genetically modified to be resistant to weeds and like the pesticides that you spray for it, is that good or bad? It's a different take, but
That's, in my mind, that would be good, depending on what is in it to make it so the pesticides that you put into it doesn't go into the grass.
okay. So what if it did get into the grass? Would that start to be a problem, or is that okay too?
That would be a
That's the
problem.
problem.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you
That's
much.
where you draw the line.
Very logical man. We like it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Clyde and AJ, for joining us today on LULS and providing us with the public opinion on alfalfa.
Oh, you're mighty welcome. Bye now.
Thank you for joining us today on our broadcast on alfalfa production in the U.S.
Yes, LULS would like to give a special thank you to everyone that was involved in this production today. Don't forget to give us your comments, questions, or concerns at our Yahoo account at KMFBH. We would love to hear from you. Thanks, and tune in again tomorrow. Good night.